What's good, faithful? It's your boy Wayne Breezie, and welcome to the Wayne Breezie Show. The NFL Combine is officially in the books. We can close the books on the Combine, and the draft boards across the league just changed overnight. What a great week. From Thursday to Sunday, we were watching players train, test, and do the damn thing. But today, we're not just reacting, we're putting the San Francisco 49ers on the clock. Now, this is not a mock draft show. These are Breezy's picks at 27. So you're going to want to stick around for this in the draft. Start it right now at pick 27. Who's the perfect fit for this team? And I'm going to go through every position. So get ready. I got a guest. The general manager is here, and he's going to have to evaluate my picks. So get ready. Today, we're building the entire blueprint. One player at every position. Offense, defense, trenches, secondary. You name it. Every single spot. Not just the best athletes. Even though we're going to go BPA on some players. I can tell you that right now. But the best players that actually fit Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch's system. Are you ready? Because I need you, faithful, locked in right now because you are helping me make this decision live. So hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and drop a mother freaking comment in the chat. If you're ready to build the future of the 49ers, let's cook. Tony, you ready, baby? I got my man, and we about to go in. Now, here's the cool part about today's show. Tony has no idea who my players are. And so the live reaction is going to be phenomenal. Now, I don't have sound effects working, but shout out to all the members of the Breezy Bunch crew. You know who you are. Love you. Keep the chat popping. Tony, what's going on, man? It's Monday. The Combine is over. I can't wait to get your takes. And again, everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel.
Yeah, it's Monday. Just hanging out in my normal position, recovering. The underwear Olympics is over. A lot of moving. Guys, made themselves some money. Some guys hurt themselves. So we're going to talk about it with this little exercise here. And Breezy's going to give the picks for pick number 27 for the San Francisco 49ers.
Now, I kind of been teasing some of the players that I like on Twitter, on various social medias, right? So I've been teasing. I've been like, oh, look at this player. Put a little heart by this guy or the eyes by this guy. And so, and then we got our text messages going back and forth. I feel like we're like the behind the scenes Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks, even though he sucks. Like, right? I just had to think of a black person. I couldn't think of one off the top of my head. But I just feel like that's who we are, like behind the scenes, and we're like texting each other, yo, check this player out. Did you see this player? Did you see this? Yo, I had a great time this weekend, and I enjoyed the underwear Olympics. It was really cool. You saw some guys really ripped. You saw some guys, that looked like regular people, but a lot of players tested. Tony, I got to ask you my first question to you is this. How do you feel about the players that did not test, that were there, got their measurables, but they didn't test? They didn't do the drills, or they didn't partake in the 40. How do you feel about that?
Listen, it's more common. It seems like year after year, there's more and more players choosing to go that route. It is what it is. They're banking on their pro day. At the combine, everything's laser with the times on all the workouts. So maybe they want to catch a 10th of a second or two to improve their times. I don't know. Maybe they're working through an injury. Could be a situation, and maybe they're just advised by their agent to say, listen, you got your pro day coming up, you dominated the Senior Bowl, whatever bowl you were in, and get yourself in peak shape, and we're gonna go all out at your pro day, and that's gonna be enough. It's different. Everyone attacks it different. So
you know what it is for me? I feel like with the NFL Combine, it's when the lights are on. So that's when it matters the most. I feel like at the pro day, it's a more controlled environment. It's where you're comfortable. That's not how the NFL works, because you're going to play half of your games on the road. Yeah. And all the games are going to be under the lights. And then some games are going to be in prime time. And I just feel like these athletes, I guess my thing is this, right? If you get the invite, that's your opportunity. Now, if you can't perform due to health, that's one thing. But do you know how many players out there want to be at the NFL Combine to showcase what they can do, to show how fast they can run? how quick they can get through the drills, how well they can execute the drills. There's so many players out there that didn't get invited. We talked about a lot of snubs. There were quarterbacks that got snubbed.
Mhm.
There were running backs, wide receivers. And so some wide receivers didn't even run. Like my respect level, if I had to pick one player, my respect level for a defensive player would be Sonny Styles because he
Yeah.
ran, he did the drills, he performed. And then on the offensive side, I think I was who was I gonna go with on the offensive side? Give me a player that did all the drills that didn't have. Oh, Jeremiah Love, the running back. He didn't have to do the drills. He's the best running back and coming into the league.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. Listen,
Just-
they can be getting advice from their agents saying, "Listen, your main focus is the interviews for this combine," and like that could be advice that they're receiving from behind closed doors. And like someone like Love, but Love chose to go through it, and it's preference, it's player preference. Maybe they're not confident, maybe they're not in the best shape, maybe something is lingering that they don't. Well, it's hard to hide it because you go through a full medical, so
Right.
it's an odd situation. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right, well, what are you trying to hide? Like, are you not in good shape right now? Your time's not going to be good. So, but I'll tell you this on a different aspect of this. Some of these trainers, these guys are hiring. These guys are flying,
Bro, this was the
Oh my
fastest combine I've ever seen in my entire life.
crazy. But go ahead. I didn't mean to change.
No, you didn't. That was yo. Let me tell you how fast the combine was. The combine was so fast that they had to find stuff to fill in on air with. Like, like players were running. Like I think this was the first combine where every position group, even the quarterback group, every position group was the fastest. Oh my gosh. We've never seen that in the history of the NFL. The game is officially changing right before our eyes. And that's why I like the combine. That's why I support the combine, because you're getting the future right before your eyes. And not everybody's going to survive in the NFL. Not everybody's going to have a successful career in the NFL, but that's the first opportunity you get where you get to showcase yourself when the national media is covering you. And so I encourage those players, man. Listen, I know you got agents. I understand you got the NIL stuff going on. Listen, if you get the invite, don't accept the invite. Just be like, nah, I'll decline the invite. Let it move on to a different player. That's my take. Biggest winners, Tony, from the NFL Combine for you. Don't have to go through a whole list, but just a few players that stood out that you felt like were some of the biggest winners in the eyes of
Are these
Tony.
what we talked about where we're going to be selecting? Or
No, this is just off the top of the dome. Like, what do you have in your books? You still don't know my players.
Oh man,
I'm not going to give it away if you get one.
I'll tell you this. One guy who really, really impressed me, and it was rumored that this guy is a freak athlete, is Malachi Lawrence. Man, that kid is very, very impressive. That pass rusher from UCF, arm length, tested well, speed, all his agility drills were there. That's like, a kind of like favorite or someone that was expected to do good. I thought he was going to do good, but he really blew it out of the park. Everett, the cornerback, who I'm very high on out of Georgia, I think really had a great workout. Speed could have been a little bit better, but he moved smoothly in the drills. One guy, another Georgia guy that really, and I'm not talking about Freeland. I'm talking about somebody like that was projected to be a seventh round pick, sixth round pick, potentially undrafted free agent. Hold on. His last name is Morris. I think his first name is Mackay.
Oh, you talking about the offensive lineman?
The guard.
The guard.
Holy like that dude is like 6'4", 6'5", 325, 330, and the dude moved. And he wasn't even really a full-time starter. He switched from right and left guard. And the dude just tested well. Now, buyer beware. Are these just workout warriors? Or are these guys ready to take that step? You know what I'm saying? Like great 1765, Hawley. Not Hawley, I'm sorry.
Halsey. Yeah,
no,
the kid
Oscar.
out this. Oh, Oscar.
Pounds,
Sonny
I think
Styles?
worked out. I think Pounds worked out very well.
Yeah,
That's
Diego
something I would
Pounds.
love to get my hands on. I think he's probably a top 5 corner, but the problem is he's barely 5'9" to play.
Are you talking about
Pounds from Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah.
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 I think that
D'Angelo.
kid's phenomenal. Confidence, corner, great tackle, run support. He's just a great ball player. It's just so many guys. Another late round guy, Wagner from Notre Dame, the tackle, tested very well for 6'6", 310. Defensive tackle from Clemson. Shit, what's his name? Not Peter Woods. Not Woods. The guy. Damn it! I gotta look him up. 1 second.
No, that's no problem. Let me just go over some of your winners. You talked about D'Angelo Pons, the cornerback out of Indiana. He didn't run, but he definitely tested. I mean, this dude is 5'9" with his vertical, bro, was like 40 plus inches, bro. Like he had the highest vertical jump, 43.5-inch vertical at 8.5 inches. He's not even 5'9". He's my height. He's my height. This dude is my height and can jump over a tall building. Like that's athleticism.
Single bound.
Who's the player you're talking about?
No, I said
single bound. Yeah, bro, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And so I'm like, yo, but his film backs him up, right? Like he didn't have to run. He didn't run because he felt he was a little out of shape. That's why Tony said earlier, some of these players won't do certain things because they don't feel like they're in the right shape. He felt like he came into the combine a little over his weight. Didn't look like he was overweight, but that's what he said. I wanted to talk about Oscar Cummings. He says, give me Sonny Styles in the first and D'Angelo Pons in the second. Listen, Sonny Styles is the number one linebacker or whatever you want to call him in this draft.
That
right?
dude's a freak, bro. I'm sorry. The dude's
ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm not saying them because that guy was a lock to come in and test well.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to find guys that were in that middle tier. Like I'll tell you a guy who
he was a winner though. Not gonna lie. Like he won the day.
100%. Defensive tackle from Penn State. Defensive tackle from Penn
State. Zane Durant. Yeah.
Bro. We have CJ West and Collins. I'm adding Durant to that pass rushing rotation. Okay. He replaced Givens right off the bat. That dude is like
motor is crazy, bro.
6'1.5" at like 285. He was just under 6'2", but explosive, agility wise, moves well. I mean, I could talk all day about these guys, but those are pretty much the guys that stood out that caught my attention. You know,
dude, he ran a 4.75 in the 40 with a 1.66 10-yard split. Just wanted to add that.
287.
So highest. So check this out. Fastest 40 for defensive tackles, fastest 10-yard split for defensive tackles, and he had a 6.9 3-cone. So I just want to put that out, which was the highest for defensive tackles.
That dude is projected like round 5, bro. I could see him going.
Nah, he's gonna bump up. He's a day 2 guy. It's gonna be a day 2 guy.
Round 3, maybe if there's a run on tackles, he could sneak into the bottom of round 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, there's a lot of talent. I mean, I can keep going, but
no, I mean, I think you gave us a lot of winners, right? Like a lot of guys you felt like won the day, and that's the question, right? And so, here's the question to you guys in the chat: Do you feel like this combine helped or hurt this draft class? Do you feel like that this particular combine helped or hurt this draft class? Tony, do you feel like the combine helped or hurt the draft class?
I think it helped more than it hurt. I'm a little disappointed with an individual. I'm not going to say it, but
no, you can say it. That's what the show is for.
I'm a little disappointed with Lemon from USC.
Makai Lemon, yeah.
Yes.
So you for interview purposes, or
I heard interview was absolutely horrendous. Probably one of the worst interviews in history of the combine. And I put in our group chat the video while the Patriots wide receiver coach was giving instruction, and he was the first one to run the drill and totally screwed it up
because he didn't pay it. He wasn't paying attention.
Exactly. Like,
well, he wasn't listening.
This is the stage. You know you're number one. You know you're the first one up to go. Don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. You're essentially going to be the top wide receiver taken in this draft. Top 3.
Listen, I feel you. Let me ask you this question then. Let me ask you questions. Check this out. Makai Lemon has been skipped and dropped to pick 27. Tony the GM, are you drafting Makai Lemon at pick 27?
That's a gut feeling that you have to be in the room during that interview.
Tony, are you drafting Makai Lemon at pick 27? And this is dope because
I
You
can't
can
answer that.
answer. You can answer. You just won't answer, but you can answer. Knowing
I
what you know,
it's
he's a
but
top
I'm
receiver.
limited. Like you ever get like into a situation where you have to go into it and then
Yeah,
you get
but
a feeling. You get a feeling from it. Like, is he just screwing around, or is this kid that big of a friggin' like
I mean, he's a big. He's a.
maturity?
Look, I need to know if you had to pick between him and KC Concepcion at 27, and those are your two wide receivers, and that's one of your biggest needs. Who is Tony drafting?
I think I would go Concepcion.
So you're going with the guy with the drops, opposed to the guy with the non-listening situation, because that's what we got. I think that's what you're going off
You
of.
got to think about what team he's going to and what's expected from the wide receivers. If he can't follow instructions on one drill where it's half speed to a certain point, then a full out sprint, ball over the shoulder, you're not going to be able to play in Kyle Shanahan's offense. And that's where you got to look
But
at like the requirements that he puts on these wide receivers, right? Watkins is a good receiver. He didn't see the field this year, right?
Couldn't get right.
All right. So, I mean, honestly, I know Concepcion has the drops, but you don't have the prima donna side of the issue. Now, granted, let's keep in mind what we just dealt with.
100%. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Because
this is going to be.
Yeah, this is the draft where I think Kyle changes the wide receiving room, period. Changes the mindset, changes the talent, changes whatever. And he's been doing it, right? Because we've seen Kyle interject in the wide receiving room. He went speed with Danny Gray. Didn't work out because he couldn't understand what the hell was going on. I don't think Mekhi Lemon is that player, but if that's the narrative that they're putting out there behind them, Tony, you're good on narratives. You will ride that, like, right, like that. I get it. I get it. I don't know, man. Off talent and ability, I would be stupid to not pick Mekhi Lemon. Me personally, if I was the GM, I would take Mekhi Lemon if he fell to 27. If he fell to 27,
even what we just went through,
with
a receiver on our roster.
Even what we don't gotta pay him after 4 years, bro. After 5 years.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's like you want to add a piece that's going to hopefully develop into a core piece, right?
You do, but these are wide receivers. I don't think wide receivers are core pieces anymore. My philosophy on wide receivers have changed, bro. Like, I don't think they're core pieces. I think they're pieces that you utilize, you use up, and you let them go elsewhere to make their money, right?
Yeah.
So you get them young. That's why it makes sense to draft them. So you get them, you work them out, get them, boom, go make your money, bro. Like, draft another one. It's just the way it is. Look at how Kyle Shanahan has done his receivers, man. We had 2 wide receivers where we had to pay, which we paid. And how'd that work out?
Paid both of them, yeah.
They're not even here. The junk is blowing my mind. So I don't think core pieces. That's why I don't know if you go wide receiver at 27.
No, I agree. Listen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, you're asking me if he falls there.
Right. I'm asking because it's a need.
Yeah, it's definitely a need. I think they go to free agency and they add a piece of free agency. So now they have one piece there.
For sure. No, you're right. No, you're right. For sure. No, you're right. You're right on the money. Go ahead. Keep going with that. I like that.
For this show's purposes, they added a veteran. Doesn't matter who. They added a guy that's going to come in that they spend a fair amount of money on. Nothing crazy. Whether it's Naylor, Dobbs, you know what I'm saying? One or the other, Mike Evans, one of them. They upgraded the position. They added a piece. Correct. So you have a piece there. So now you're going with that player plus Ricky plus Watkins plus Cowan. So it's not like, holy shit, who's playing wide receiver?
Correct.
We have a piece there. So now you take wide receiver out of the slot of 27. So now you look at your roster and say, okay, well, listen, what did we not address in free agency? We'll get into that later. But right now we're just using this, and I just wanted to use that as an example. So
okay,
that's
fair. All right, so here's the preface for today's show, for today's exercise. Every position has been filled. Every position has been filled. We filled all the holes in free agency. Now,
It's like
as
year
far
one
as
of Kyle.
right, where you had the bread. But that doesn't mean they overspent or anything like that.
Correct.
They just filled positions so that way they go into this draft with no one knowing what the hell they're going to do. That's how I'm going to pick my picks at 27. Now, I'm not drafting. It's not a mock draft. I'm just going to give you picks on who I think will fit the 49ers, who I would either reach for or maybe great value at 27. We're going to start with these offensive fits. Tony, I hope you're ready because I'm going to go with my first offensive player that I got tight written down here, baby. I be doing my homework, man. I love this.
Exactly who it is.
You do? All right, so let's start with the tight end position. I'm going to start with the tight end position. Kenyon Sadiq at 27, and this is why he fits. First of all, I know people are like, you don't draft the tight end at 27. Contraire mon frere, because he's not a tight end. He's a tight weapon. He could play receiver. He could be a slot. He could run out of the backfield. He is what I wanted last year. Why do I can't remember this kid's name? I was so high on him. The kid out of Bowling Green. Like, it just felt like.
Oh, the kid that went to the Browns.
Yeah, can't ever remember his daggone name because the only name that comes to mind is David Njoku, but that ain't him. He didn't have the production that young gentleman had in Cleveland. If you see it in the chat, let me know because I'm not looking at the chat. But if you see it, but he's way more athletic than that kid. Way more. Harold Fannin Jr. He's way more athletic than Harold Fannin Jr. And he runs great seam routes. He has elite movement skills. He had the fastest 40 as a tight end. It's ridiculous. 4.3 speed. What are we talking about? And what does Kyle Shanahan covet from his playmakers? Yak yards after catch. I watched this dude leap over a tall building, bro. Like literally multiple times. When he's given the ball, he has Saquon Barkley ups. I'll put that in there. But he runs faster than Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's a good pick. All right, he does a lot of things well. He's not. I just don't like everyone comparing him to Vernon Davis. He's not Vernon Davis.
No, totally different. Totally different builds.
Vernon Davis. No. He's not as physical as Vernon Davis.
No. He's more athletic than Vernon. I think he's more athletic than Vernon Davis, though.
Yeah, he might have better hands than Vernon Davis. But
that was a shot. That was messed up, but I get you.
No, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
I do.
Times where Vernon was wide open and just like the doink. It's like, come on. But what this kid does well is he does not block inline well.
Right.
He blocks in space.
Space well. Mm-hmm.
And that is a massive plus, right? Because how they like to get downfield on that outside zone, and you can move, he could be moving and blocking at the same time. That's a major plus. And that's something that George Kittle does very well. Obviously, Sadiq is a lot faster than George Kittle. Now, here's the problem, though.
Okay, I'm waiting for the problems because this is the
that inline tight end.
Doesn't have to be. Keep going. It's your time.
So we said we added a free agent, right? This
we
like to see
Cade Otton. Give me Cade Otton. Give me Cade.
Cade Otton's one of them.
Okay.
But I think Cade Otton's going to get a pretty fair deal. Like,
okay. Say less. Say less.
I'm going to go with Charlie Kohler from Baltimore.
From tight end U.
Yes. And also played with Brock Purdy at Iowa.
At Iowa. That's what I call tight end U is Iowa. I'm sorry.
So
people
I
got that.
I think Kohler actually went to Kittle's camp.
He probably did, but my point is he's an Iowa guy and they work here. Like
I'm not 100% sure, but I would like to see if they added that piece. I would say let's bring in the Charlie Kohler, who is a inline blocker and a receiver. Never got the opportunity, hitting on the depth chart between Likely and Andrews, two great tight ends. But now you have that ability to go inline with Kohler. You go two tight ends. This kid could even line up in the slot. So now you're talking about potentially Jennings moving on. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a smart. There's a lot of thinking. There's a lot of thought behind that.
I'm liking what we're doing right now.
Smart, but do they view that as a first round priority? Here's the other side of it, though. it's a massive injection of speed to this offense. And it's a skill player who could develop as a foundational piece and add another element to this offense.
Bingo. No, you don't got to butt it. You already butted it all the time.
Tested so well.
Oh, come on.
The question is, will he be there?
All right, that's a safe butt. That's a safe butt. And this is just pending. I'm just going off of players that I feel like have the potential to fall. If they fall, 9 times out of 10 he won't make it to 27. But he's the top tight end in this draft, and I'm not drafting another tight end at 27. If that makes sense. Even though I liked Eli Stower's workout and film and production coming out of college, who had almost double the yards as Kenyon Sadiq. He ran a 4.51, but he's not my 20. He's not pick 27. He's a second round guy. So I like what I would go this route. Shout out to Nigel, who gifted a membership to Prod by Demp. All right, welcome to the Breezy Bunch crew, man. Just wanted to show you some love, baby. All right, so
one more thing. At 27, you want somebody that's going to be on the field.
100%.
You want someone that's going to contribute. And that's why I think I know you were going the other way, maybe in your head, with another individual who could be a piece for the future.
Right.
But the question is, would he be on the field contributing week 1?
I think Kenyon Sadiq will.
Kenyon could.
The other player, right.
You know what I'm saying?
You know who Eli Stowers reminds me of? You know what vibes he gives me?
Who?
He's not as tall as Jimmy Graham, but he has the vert. Like,
I was going to say Jimmy Graham.
He has the reach.
But he offers you nothing as a blocker.
You're not getting 2 squits of shit of blocking from him.
He won't even try. He'll fall down. So
we fall down, right? Oh, man, that is funny.
Leg whip a clown. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's go with the wide receiver position. You see, I left it blank, and I'll fill this in. I'm changing it up. I'm changing the game right here. I'm switching it up. It's not going to be who you think it is. Tony, I want you to take one guess, not 3, on who my wide receiver at pick 27 is, and then I'll go ahead and introduce.
Is it Lemon?
Absolutely not.
All right. Concepcion.
Good guess, but no. I'm changing the game. I think Kyle Shanahan needs to revert his wide receiving schematic system with different types of players. Speed has always been an element. Let's add some size. And at pick 27, give me Chris Brazel II out of Tennessee.
Ooh, you're getting speed too, though.
But you're getting speed with size. You're getting vertical speed, 6'4" to 6'5". He is a route burst plus separate. Like, the dude he create separation. And he fits this motion style offense, man. And this stretches the field for Brock Purdy. And this gives Brock Purdy a bigger target because you're going to be losing your biggest target in Juwan Jennings in free agency.
Yes, I agree. That's solid. The guy I would consider. Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
All right. The guy I would consider this.
Wait. That's all you got to say about Brazel is I agree. Good target. No pushback. Ain't no butts. You didn't have a butt. You had 17 butts on Kenyon Sadiq, but no butts on. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna shut up.
He's somebody that made himself money with the combine. 100%.
100%.
There was no doubting his skill set as far as playing the wide receiver position. It was 100%. Just like, okay, where's he going to come in speed wise? Is he going to
production was there too? 1,000 yards.
Yeah,
touchdowns. Yeah,
he's a deep threat, high point the ball. He can run the route tree. Mm-hmm. The thing is, what was his vert? What was his time? What was his three cone? How did he look during the gauntlet? Like, these are all things you got to take into accountability.
I thought the gauntlet was good. I thought Concepcion had the best gauntlet, but I thought Brazel's gauntlet was good. Let me see if I got his time while you continue to talk.
I thought what's his name had a really good gauntlet. The kid from Clemson. Antonio Williams. Is it Williams?
Yes. They met with him. The Niners met with him.
Yes, I thought his gauntlet was pretty good. 1 second here. Let me just look at my list here.
All right, Brazel ran a 4.37, 1.52. I don't think he did the three cone or the shuttle or that. Yeah, he didn't do those.
So this is just based on somebody at value at 27, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's somebody in this draft where I wish he wasn't hurt because I would
Oh, Chris
strongly
Bell.
consider it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number.
I would,
That's been my number one guy. I've been trying to put people on the Chris Bell for the longest, and it's just like now all of a sudden his name's starting to circulate, but because somebody put out a story. But I've been talking about Chris Bell from Louisville for the longest. This is a big weapon, but he has the body of Deebo Samuel, but taller, right?
and he's
And
just a better route runner.
he's just there it is. That's the key, and the speed is there. So you're probably gonna get, I would say, low 4.4, maybe sub 4.3, sub 4.4 speed, right? Sub 4.4, like maybe 4.39. I think you'll get it. But he has great hands. He creates separation. You could put him XYZ. It's just it's the
Do we
injury.
know where he is in his recovery?
No, not off the top of my head.
I see Great One has Denzel Boston. I was
So
on the Boston train to a point.
He dropped every pass. He dropped just about every pass.
We asked the question: do you feel it helped or hurt? It hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
This kid is going to feel it in the draft.
Unfortunately, he's still going to be a top receiver. I just don't think that the Niners will take the chance on him. He didn't run the 40. That hurt him. And then in the drills, which is the only thing he didn't test well. And, you can't drop the passes. You can't drop passes in these drills. I'm not saying you got to catch every pass, but, for a player that has 7 drops in his collegiate career, he had 7 this year. It was KC Conception. He caught every pass. So it's stuff like that. Like, it can hurt you, but it can help you if you do well. And that's what it comes down to. So Denzel Boston still going to be a top wide receiver. Do not get it twisted. The kid can put up numbers depending on it. You know where he fits? Tampa Bay. That's where he'll fit. Throw the ball up to him. To get rid of Mike Evans. He replaces Mike Evans. There's your guy. All right. Go ahead. Keep talking.
What are your thoughts on Cooper?
Oh, I like Cooper. So Cooper, I have Cooper over Concepcion. I think Cooper is a better route runner. He's not as fast. Well, we don't know how fast Concepcion is. Concepcion might be more quick, but he ran a pretty damn good 40. I like the fact that Cooper can be, he's multifaceted, right? So he can be utilized in every way. He's not just a slot receiver. He can be your X. He kind of gives me Brandon Ayuk vibes. I'm just going to put it out there.
Thank you. And I just want to say something. They're comparing him to Debo. See,
I don't get the Debo comparison.
I see Surratt as more of that physical receiver. And
Bingo.
Cooper as more of the
finesse. There you go. The route running, the speed.
That's where I'm at with Cooper. I like Cooper, and I would consider Cooper at 27. Again, we did add a piece in free agency, so we don't know. But Cooper could be, if they feel he's better than what they have in-house, which I don't think they're going to do that because what they invested with Ricky Pearsall, what they invested in the free agent, they have Watkins. John Lynch is saying Cowing is the up-and-coming receiver of the future for the 49ers. He haven't played a game yet. So I don't see them going wide receiver round 1. But if they did, I would say Cooper, along with Brazel, right? Brazel, as 2 very strong candidates at the 27 spot. Along with Concepcion, I'll put in there. But I just think Concepcion is so dynamic with the ball in his hand. The only thing that's holding him back is the inconsistent hands.
That's it. The reason why I went with Brazo over Concepcion is because you get the speed, but you get the size. And I think size matters in this situation. I think, Brock Purdy is a smaller, shorter quarterback. He's going to put the ball, some of his ball placements is going to be a little bit high, putting a smaller 5'9", 5'10" wide receiver at risk opposed to having a 6'4", 6'5" guy. It just makes sense. It's just time to switch it up. All right, let's get back.
Need it because I think the free agents that they're looking at are both under 6 foot. They're 5'11" each.
Bingo.
So especially if Jennings moves on,
bingo.
He places the size in the slot if they need it. So.
And Jennings was what, 6'3", if I'm not mistaken?
6'3", 2. I think he got drafted 6'3", 215. Probably 6'3", 220 now.
I got tight end. I got wide receiver. I'm gonna go on to the I'll do running back last. I'm gonna go to the offensive tackle, Monroe Freeman. That's the guy.
Whoa!
That's the guy, bro. That's the guy. That's the guy, bro. He's the
Whoa!
guy. If they got to replace,
Thank
if
God I
it,
didn't bet you.
listen, that's the guy, man.
Thank
Here,
God I did not bet you.
yo, were you gonna bet me Caden Proctor?
Yes.
I'm glad. See, and this is why we do the shows. I get to go and watch, and then I get to have a change of heart. Listen, Caden Proctor's gonna be a top. He's gonna be a top pick, first round pick. I don't care what anybody says. The athleticism is there, but the testing is what I would like to go off for this exercise. The testing, my friend, was through the roof. I mean, Monroe Freeland, Tony. What do you talk about? Tackles need the most arm length, right?
Arm length
That
and feet.
arm length and feet. You get the full extension of the arm length. He has the arm length. He has great movement traits, and you saw it in the drills. And he's going to fit this outside zone scheme perfectly well with that split, with that 10-yard split, Tony. Like, does he have
No.
the fastest 10-yard split? Hold up. Yes, 171 split, Tony. Tony. That is Trent Williams' split number.
It is. No, you're 100% right. It really is.
Shit! Let's
It-
go! Give
really
me
is.
Monroe. Sign me up, Tony. It's your time, and you 2 minutes.
I like Monroe. I don't think the other guys will be there.
He's not going to be there either, but I'm going with Monroe.
No, but listen, and I'm just going to play the hypothetical side. I don't think Mayoga's going to be there. I don't think Freeling's going to be there.
I think Fano is gone too.
I think
this is
Fano.
Yeah.
The only one that might slip is Lomu.
I got Monroe over Lemu. I'm sorry.
No. I'm with you. Miller could be there.
I thought Miller had a bad combine, honestly.
Yeah, I think he's more of a day two. But I mean, if there's a run, someone might be there. He might take him. But I'm not saying us. I don't think he's a good fit for us, to be honest with you. But
Blake Miller out of Clemson. Good point.
yeah, I'm not. I wasn't big on him, but I'm just thought maybe he would be there. I do think the Arizona State kid is there. I'm not going to try to say his name. I'm going to call him Mad Max.
Oh, Max Acher. Yes.
I think he could be there. But my only beef with him is
you about to make me write his name.
No, he played the right side predominantly at Arizona State. I understand
Correct.
He got reps on the left side in the Senior Bowl, 100%. But he looked more comfortable at the Senior Bowl when he was on the right side. So now, and we're saying we're doing this exercise based on Trent Williams returning to the San Francisco 49ers. Are we agree?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just going to say this. If Trent Williams does not return, I think you throw Proctor's name in at 27 into the
for sure. For sure.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Tell us why.
There was a drill where he popped the coach, and he didn't even really step in.
Gosh.
The dude didn't even step into it. He just kind of just punched.
He's
and that's
strong.
It. Coach's hat went flying. Then his head went back. Now, you could think of it as nothing. Sure, it is what it is. But my thing with Proctor came in with 34-inch arms, right? If I'm correct.
His arms are a little shorter, on the shorter side. I don't think they full 34. I think it was like 33 and 3/8 or something.
So he's just a hair under 34. Okay.
Yeah, but do you see what happens when he get them arms to the chest?
That's the thing. And that's the thing. And he does have the athleticism. You can't deny that.
He looked good.
So if he could just manage with his feet and his hands to put his hands on a body, you're not bull rushing him.
Give me him. Like, he's him, bro.
You're sorry. And again, I'm going to make this clear. This is the only situation is if Trent Williams decide not to extend him and they cut him or trade him. Because I think they'll be okay with Proctor at left tackle. Obviously, they'll bring a veteran in to compete. But with his size, with his strength, with his arms, and his feet, you got to put a body on a body. And I think that's where he could get away with it while he develops. If you understand what I'm saying. It's not like he's a slouch and he can't run downfield on a toss. or on
Correct.
a screen. So
He could
that
move.
part's not the issue. The part is he's raw, he's a baby, and he needs to learn the technique to play at the NFL level. But with his statute, I think he can get away with it. And this is an only situation, only this pick is if Trent Williams is gone.
So I have these would be I can't wait to redo my tackles, right? So right now, just off the top of my
All
dome,
that time you wasted.
right, right. But it was coming into the combine. But it would be. I think Spencer Fano is my number one tackle in this draft. I think for one, his versatility is great. Left side, right side, he does it equally well. Right, whether you put him on the left side or right side, he has the athleticism. I just think the dude just gets football, and in this offense, he would fit perfectly because it's just outside zone. He can move, he can get there. He kind of has that Trent Williams ability to get downfield, right? So it would be Spencer Fano. Number two, Francis Mal. Oh, I can never say his name right, but the kid from Miami. I just think he's built to play tackle, like that. That's just who he is. He's gonna be a tackle. He's gonna be a solid tackle in the NFL. And he's getting the Penei Sewell comp, right?
And
Those
he
are
was
his
another
comps.
right sider, right? He was another
He's
right
another
sider.
right side. Yeah. Because the other big dude, Marquise Bell, or was Marquise Bell on the right side? Either way, those were the two tackles from Miami.
No,
Number
Marquise
three, number three, I think Monroe Freeland. I think Monroe Freeland has proved that he's a top tackle in this draft. And I think number four for me would be Caden Proctor and then Lomu from Utah. I think those would be my top five tackles. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go from 10 to 5. So now I'm going to narrow it down to my top 5 tackles coming up in the future. But
Now the downside with Lomu is he's a great pass blocker.
run blocker.
Struggles to run.
But he ran well. And I think with the proper teaching, he can learn it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. You got to look at it like this. We don't run the typical power scheme.
True.
So is his ability to move with his athleticism, could that help him in the run game? Because we're essentially
That's
zone.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking. Like the fact that, and this is where you use the test at the combine, you'd be like, wait, he moves better. So what was he asked to do? If it was power, then maybe he did struggle. Maybe he struggled with power. Who knows? But if you ask him to kick out and be faster, maybe he has that. Let me look up Lomu's stuff that I have on my chart, my combine stuff right here. Lomu, let's see, 4.99, 1.74 split, bro. That's right there. It's what maybe he would fit better in this zone scheme opposed to a power scheme.
What's his arm length?
I don't have his arm length off the top of my head, and I don't have that open right now. But he could play the left and the right side as well.
Uh-huh.
And I think the key is, like, if Trent is here, you can kick any of these guys in. Can any of these guys kick in to play guard? I think that's the question. I know Caden Proctor.
I don't think Lomu could.
Okay. Good question. Good. Yeah, Lomu, Caleb. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep it going, man. We got to speed this up a little bit. All right, guard. So since we're talking about guards, my guard is Ole Vavega Ioane. I think I got that right. Ioane. Right?
That's the Penn State dude, right?
That's the guy. That would be that's the next version of Quentin Nelson. Like, and he might not play as mean, but he plays clean. Like he's good. Like he's really good, and he has the athleticism. No, he didn't run the 40, and it's okay. But I would love that kid in the 49ers office. And if he definitely was sitting at 27, I think that would prioritize that. I think the guard position will prioritize wide receiver for me.
Okay.
And tackle, because we got our tackles pending. You know what I'm saying? I think the guard is the hole we need to fill.
Yes, the left guard. But again, like, we don't know what route hold on. We added somebody. We just don't know how big of an investment it was in the position.
Correct. Every position has been taken care of. We just don't know with who. Correct.
So if you have an opportunity to grab somebody like this, who is clearly a first-round guard at 27, and you feel in your system, he is a consistent. He is a lock for a plug and play guard. Then you take him because again, 27, you want him on a day one impact. You insert him into the lineup and you let him go.
Tony,
Ah,
I said that there were no. Oops, I didn't mean to put that in there. I said that there were no centers that I thought that were, first round worthy. I think I found a center.
who?
Who do you think it is?
Don't say Logan Jones.
No, but I like Logan Jones. Don't you? Logan had a phenomenal combine.
He did, but I think Sam Heck is a better center.
Bingo! Sam freaking Heck, I think is worth a first round pick. If this is a need, listen. I would do it because this is the future. This is what you're doing, man. You're looking. Here's why he fits, right? The Niners need that processor up front. That is what Jake Brendo lacks. I'm sorry. He lacks athleticism and processing. He doesn't understand what the hell is going on 98% of the time. And when you look at Sam Heck, smart processing in the pre-snap, his strong leverage and hand placement, Tony, and he's ideal for calling protections, which takes and alleviates so much from Mr. Purdy because that's what Kyle Shanahan utilizes from his center position. What's your thoughts on Sam Heck, bro?
I like Sam Heck. I just don't see him as a first round center. I don't see him as a first round.
There's technically there aren't any.
I see him
at 27. If I gotta pick a center,
if you have to, okay, then that's a different story.
I'm just saying, I'm picking every position that we need at 27. Yeah. So it will be Sam Heck will be my number one center.
I'll tell you, I like Heck. I like obviously Jones. And there's something about Slaughter, bro.
I like Slaughter.
I don't know.
I like Slaughter.
You see him in the interview?
I did see him. I didn't think the combine helped him, but I know if you watch his film, he's a guy. He's a guy. Yeah, I like so, and I thought he was the best center at the Senior Bowl too. By the way, like I do want to put that out there. And he's mean and nasty. All right. Now, running back, I'm gonna pick a running back. You know what? I bet you're not gonna guess my running back.
The other Notre Dame running back.
Jadarian Price is not him.
That's who I like.
I do. I like him too.
He ran a 4.4 from Indiana.
No. Oh, Kalon Black. Nope.
Yeah.
No. Keep going. You get one more guess.
Not Love, right?
It is Mike Washington out of Arkansas, bro. Mike Washington out of Arkansas.
I love that kid. I mean, I love him, but the thing is this, right?
Go ahead, give me the butt.
Is he a true fit for this offense?
Bro.
He's a more bigger, more physical back. He runs good. He's a good running back, but I just don't see him being – he's like 6'2", like 230, right? 225.
Bro, this kid has the speed to get to the outside. What more do you need? Like, what are we asking for? He has 4.3. He has 4.3 speed, right? 4.33 is what he ran, right? And what more can you ask for from this young gentleman? I'm trying to figure out. He forced 30 missed tackles last season, bro. He averaged almost 4 yards per carry, Tony, after contact. Tony, this dude is who's that guy? Jordan Mason, but better. Like faster.
Here's the $1 million question.
Go ahead.
How many fumbles?
Okay, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. Hold on. You're not gonna do me bad like here, Ricky Bobby. I'm gonna get to that. Hold on one freaking second, because that is the question. That is $1 million question. We talk about drops for wide receivers. We got to talk about fumbles. So let's do it. Let's pull up PFF stats and let's get it, baby. All right, rushing. How many you think he had? Career? I'll give you career and then last season.
Give me just last season.
Last season he had 3 fumbles.
And what's his career?
10.
Oof. Oof. All right.
He
So there's
played. He played a
improvement.
long time though. He
There's
played a long
improvement.
time.
Is he a 4-year player or 3?
He's a 5-year player.
So 1 year is injury.
Well, first year at Buffalo. He had 3 years at Buffalo. That's the school that who went to Buffalo, bro? Khalil Mack. Then he had 1 year at New Mexico State in 2024. He had 4 fumbles that year, and he had 3. But he also had 167 rushing attempts. This dude averaged 6.4 yards per carry. Listen, Christian McCaffrey fumbled more than 3 times in one season with the San Francisco 49ers. So if you're gonna have this conversation, no, we're gonna have it. You know what I'm saying?
100%,
This dude averaged. They do. But this dude averaged 6.4 yards per attempt, and oh my gosh, like the 3.86 yards after contact is crazy. 30 runs, 10 yards or more. He had 34 missed tackles forced, bro. This kid can run through the roof. I don't know what his test. He is 6'2". He is a taller back, but didn't we draft? Isn't Isaac Guerrero 6'1", 6'2"?
Guarendo's 6'2", 230, 220.
He's 6'2", 228. Hey, you get 2 bigger running backs on this team? I don't know what they're going to do with Guerrero, honestly.
What do you think? What's his receiving stats?
As far as receiving, and see, that's what I would like for Kyle Shanahan to do with Guerrero, bro. Like, just make him a receiver. 36 targets, 28 receptions. He averaged 8.1 yards. He had a touchdown.
Okay.
226 yards, not bad.
Okay.
And I'm only going to say that because Taylor Green was his quarterback, and that cat, it's either a check down or Taylor Green is running it. Like, 100%. It's just they just weren't throwing him the ball, you know.
100%.
So,
I'm gonna go with Price. I like Price.
I think Jadarian Price is gonna be a bold take. He may end up being a better running back than Jeremiah Love in the NFL.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
And I'll tell
you, it depends on where he goes.
I would never take this dude to 27, but the kid from Nebraska. He didn't have a good
what is his name? Emmett Johnson? Emmett Johnson? Yeah, Emmett Johnson. Yeah, he didn't have a good combo. He's a 3-down running back though.
Yeah, he's your bell cow. He's your
bell cow. Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, man, let's go ahead and flip the script, Tony. Let's get to the defense. We're going to have this quick trench debate. So defensive tackle, I went Lee Hunter. And then defensive end, and here's my hypothetical. Because there's only one defensive end I would pick in the first round that I think is first round worthy. Well, 2, maybe 2. Reuben Bain and David Bailey. And so I went with David Bailey here. And I know he's not going to fall to the Niners. I know he's going to go early, but my thing is if he did, you know what I'm saying, hypothetically, he's on the board, does this position trump every other position if David Bailey's on the board?
Oh, if David Bailey's there, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if David Bailey's there, you have to take him. The dude's a freak, bro. Tested very, very well.
Yeah.
6'4", 250, 6'3", 250, whatever he is. Just a great pass rusher.
And the production is there, you know what I mean? Like, the sacks are there. Yeah. The sacks are there. I see a question in the chat from Scuba Pat. I love Messidor. That's another person that I would draft at pick 27. You know what I'm saying? Didn't test though at the combine, right? He was here, but he didn't do anything. I'm just going over the players that we actually saw at the combine. That's another caveat for those that are just tuning in. I should have said that earlier. But talk about Lee Hunter, because Lee Hunter, I think, didn't have a good workout as far as showing his explosiveness, but god dang, man, the dude eats double teams on film. So
and that's the thing with somebody like that. You're talking 300 pounds plus. Like defensive linemen are tough, right? Some of them just don't have the foot speed or not track speed. They don't have that. They just have pure like brute strength, and they're just freaks, right? So obviously you observe them at the combine. You get all his information, height, weight, measurements, arm length, bench press, everything times. And then you go away and you go back home and you set your board. You start separating your prospects who you want to bring in for your top 30s. Then you put the film on. Now, Lee Hunter is a first round pick on film. Lee Hunter is not a first round pick according to the combine. So, with that being said, the combine you throw out the window, and if you feel he's that piece, which I don't think they would because of what they invested last year, but we have to take a defensive tackle. I would say Lee Hunter is definitely in the conversation. My other guy would be Woods. If Woods falls, I think
Peter Woods out of Clemson.
I think you turn the card.
Okay. Woods gives me the Ndamukong Suh vibes. He gives me that vibe, like just by the way he talks, like the way he's just gonna be a giant. He's gonna be mean. He's just what it is. Lee Hunter gives me the vibes that you're just not gonna be. He gives me Vince Wilfork vibes. Like that. Those are the different. And both were dominant defensive tackles in their prime. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it all depends on the vibe. Now I know we invested in that position. I got to give you a linebacker, and I know it's Sonny Styles, and I'm just not going to pick Sonny Styles. Jacob Rodriguez is a first-round pick to me, and that's my linebacker for the 49ers, because now you get, to me, the best processing linebacker in this draft. He can cover. He showed 4.5 speed, and he's the perfect fit at linebacker. And you might be able to utilize Fred a little bit differently. Because what if you drafted Jacob Rodriguez, put him at the mic, let Fred play on the weak side?
Listen, that's an option, right? That's an option, right?
I'm just throwing stuff out there. These are hypotheticals, bro.
That's an option. But
there's the but.
But
I think I got we do this whole show with only one but. Here's the second but.
We're not taking either Ohio State player, Styles or Reese.
Correct. I
could tell you someone who might be there, and that's C.J. Allen from Georgia.
I'm not a fan.
You don't like him?
Just not a fan. Not a fan. Not saying he's not going to be a good. He's top 5 linebacker for sure. But for us, it's all about processing, knowing where to be, understanding the system, being a smart player, having the instinct, and that's what makes Fred Warner different from every linebacker in the NFL, bro.
No, I understand that.
It's instinct and processing, and it's like the best of both worlds. And I say, get another guy that can do that. You know, it's time. Like they've been trying.
I didn't do my due diligence on the linebackers because I know they're not taking one in the first round.
Listen, there ain't nothing to apologize about. But these are just my picks at 27, right? We're gonna get to the cornerbacks next, but I do have a question for everybody in the chat. What matters more for the 49ers right now, protecting Purdy or pressuring quarterbacks? What matters more right now, protecting Purdy or pressuring quarterbacks? All right, so Tony, you want to flip the coin and pick which one you think matters more?
I don't have a coin.
Me neither. I don't think people carry coins anymore. We carry iPhones and stuff. Cards, right? No, but seriously, like, what would you do?
We're talking
got to protect. That's an investment. You invested $800 billion.
And we're talking about a first round pick, right?
And we're talking about pick 27.
So I'm going to say defense at getting after the quarterback, because we made the agreement that Trent Williams is coming back, right?
I don't got my sound effects.
We added a free agent at left guard. We have Brendel, which they refuse to move on from. And the right side is set. So, with that being said, the injuries to the defensive line and the depth right now, there's none. So you always need pass rushers, right? Again, we are going to add one. We don't know to what level. So that's why I'm saying maybe you bring in either one off the edge or one from the middle.
This is crazy. We got a lot of protecting. I feel like it's split, right? A lot of pressure to quarterback. I agree with Tony. I know I'm all for this team drafting defense in the first 2 rounds. Like, I'm all for it. First 2, 3, I don't really care. Like, I'm all for it. I think you get the pass rush fixed, you're going to give Purdy more opportunities to do stuff on the offensive side. That's just the way I look at it. And I like what Felicia said earlier in her chat. She said, look, Purdy's pretty good at escaping. Let that cat keep helping the offensive line, especially if you bring in back the guy and you're filling or plugging in one hole. So I agree with you, Tony, 1,000%, man. You know how hard it is to get to these quarterbacks? You got to have the right players. And I don't think the 49ers are built right up front anymore. They're trying. They're building. They're building. They're building.
And
They're
what
building.
sucks is because every year for the last 5 years, we had a new defensive coordinator.
Oh,
So
my gosh. So there's no continuity.
Schemes, fronts. What are we looking at? I want this guy. I like this guy. I don't want that guy. Well, you just drafted him in the second round, so he ain't going nowhere. So, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be crucial. I think we will see more 5-man fronts, and I think our pass rusher could be somebody like a Bailey, somebody like an undersized edge with speed.
That's all we need, bro.
A 6'3", 240, or even a guy from Michigan, Moore.
Yeah, Derek Moore, second-round pick. Unfortunately, we're focusing on pick 27. But at pick 58 is Derek Moore for me, bro.
Sure. Or even the kid, Malachi Lawrence from UCF.
I would take a chance on him, too. Sure will.
Sure they're going to bring in the Ebikadi kid from Atlanta.
Yeah, there you go.
That's another piece.
Is it Ebikadi or Beckety? I can't remember how to say his name.
Beckety.
Yeah. Guess where he was from? Penn State. Go figure.
Penn State, Ebike.
All right, man. And there it is. You know. All right, Tony, got a couple more things we got to get through, and then we'll be done with the show. Defensive back, my defensive back selection. So I went Lee Hunter, David Bailey, Jacob Rodriguez, for the trenches. And then David Bailey would start the mid, and then let's get to the defensive backs. All right, so my cornerback, not going to make you guess. I'm just going to give you the name. I'll give you the school. Let's see if you can guess the name. San Diego State.
Chris Johnson.
Okay, so you knew who I was talking about. Smooth hips and transition ability, strong mirror skills. You saw the drill. The mirror was perfect, man. I mean, it looked like he was looking at himself in the mirror, right? Yeah. He's competitive at the catch point, and he has the interceptions to prove it, and he's tall. Right? I want a taller DB. Just like I wanted a taller wide receiver, I want a taller DB. And I want a DB that can make plays. I'm tired of PBUs. I think PBUs are great. I want some interceptions, god dang it, from our DBs. Not just a ball that's floating in the air. No, a guy could go up and get the ball in coverage and not get the penalties. And his penalty count is low. What are your thoughts on Chris Johnson? You know what I'm saying? He can also play outside and inside and play nickel as well. So
I like Chris Johnson. I think he's going to be that guy that could sneak into the bottom of round 1 after this combine.
I agree.
I think he can sneak in. Honestly, if I'm the Niners, I don't look corner in round 1. But if they did, that would have been my selection because I think all the other guys would have been gone by now. So that, but guys later in the draft, I think there's some pretty talented corners that you can get on day 2, early day 3. So I'll go with you with that with Johnson. That's a good pick.
Matthew Asetta, thank you so much for the super chats. Thanks for always keeping us updated, and thank you for the super chat. We definitely appreciate you. All right, let's get to my safety. Tony, you should know my safety by now. I have not steered away from this safety no matter what. I have not steered away from him. It's Emmanuel McNeil-Warren because the dude is a freak. He is built like a missile. He hits like a rocket, and I just feel like he makes plays and gets this is the PBU guy, right? Like, this is a guy that's going to play to where the ball goes down to the ground all the way down and then knock the ball out. He also has the forced fumbles to prove it. Like, this is a smart football player. I understand he plays range downhill in the box. He has the 4.4 speed, but he's faster than Malik Mustafa. He's not as fast as Marquise Siegel, but his size and his ability to play safety lets me know I think he can play the deep parts of the football field.
Oh, safeties. Wayne.
Oh, here's the butts. Here we go.
Wayne.
Here we go.
I'm not even saying anything about McNeil-Warren. I think he's a pretty damn solid safety. Mm-hmm. But
there it is.
Dylan Thieneman.
All right, so
out of
Oregon. Okay. So you're gonna go with speed,
IQ,
over production.
He had 6 interceptions last year.
Okay, keep going.
I don't know the stats. I just remember him
No.
having
Yeah, I want you to keep going on him. I'll look
This
it
is
up.
what I like about him, okay? He shows you the ability on film, right? He can play deep. He can play single high. He can play 2 deep. He can come up and run support. He can play in the box. He can tackle. And he's got a pretty damn high IQ, in my opinion, the way he plays.
The IQ is through the roof. I'm not going to lie.
So I like that piece. I like that versatility. Now, if you want to talk about going big safety.
I see he had 2 interceptions last year, but I could be looking wrong.
Hold on.
He had 4 PBUs, 2 interceptions.
I thought he had 6. Hold on. Oh, no. Wait, was that him? No, it wasn't him.
But the IQ is there, not going to lie. And his versatility is there. He had 118 snaps at the slot position, 247 at free safety, but 434 in the box. But the versatility is there. But he fits. This is what the Niners do with their safeties. They play box, they play deep, they play slot.
Yes. No, that was my mistake. I was thinking that was the kid from TCU that 6 interceptions.
Oh, Bud Clark. Now that yes. Now I'm not drafting him at pick 27, but like that.
Bud Clark was the one with 6.
Yeah. Okay.
But I like him at 27 if they had to pull a trigger on the safety.
Okay.
Demon.
All right. So let me just tell you a little bit about my man Emmanuel McNeil Warren, who graded like 0.9 points higher than the Tiedemann. I think that's how you say his name. So as far as pressure, he did have a sack on the season. As far as interceptions, he had 2 interceptions. One was for a touchdown, so he returned one for a touchdown. So both players had 2 interceptions. One player had 4 PBUs, which was Tiedemann. He had 5 PBUs. I just feel like statistically, he gives you more size. He's 2 inches taller, and he's just built different to play the safety position. But Tiedemann, you know what? The comps. Here are the comps. You ready? Let me ask you this: would you rather have Jesse Bates or would you rather have Cooper DeJean? You know I'll be having questions off the dome, bro.
Cooper DeJean is more versatile.
Just pick the one you want.
Where Jesse Bates is strictly a deep safety.
Them the comps. McNeil Warren is Bates.
I would take the versatility.
You would go versatility, which fits
Demon.
Which fits Kyle Shanahan and what we've been doing. Now, does that fit Raheem Morris? And that's going to be the question.
And that's the wild card. Well, wait. Didn't what's his name play safety for them this year?
Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
And that's the McNeil Warren comp. I've been wanting Jesse Bates for years. God. I was hoping we traded for him. But now I'm like, we need the picks. We only got 7 picks.
As of right now.
As of right now. We might not have that many if we end up trading for Max Crosby. We'll see how that pans out. You know what I'm saying?
I think the Niners could be in a move down candidate this year. But
yeah, I wouldn't mind moving back in the first round. I don't know if I want to move into the second round. But if it gives you that many more picks, it is what it is. So just a quick recap. My picks. Let me, because I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. So, all right. So, offensively, I went with, and these are all pick 27s. I went with Kenyon Sadiq at tight end, Chris Brazo the second at wide receiver, Monroe Freeland at offensive tackle, Ale Vavega Ione at offensive guard. Vega, right. Sam Heck at center. Running back Mike Washington Jr., defensive tackle Lee Hunter, defensive end David Bailey. I tell you what, did I just literally pick 3 players from Texas Tech? Did I just do that?
I think you did.
Jacob Rodriguez, linebacker. Oh my God. Like Texas Tech put up some film. Cornerback Chris Johnson, and then safety Emmanuel McNeil Warren from Toledo. Make sure you guys in the comment section at the end of the show, you guys leave me some comments and some thoughts on who my finalists. I would love to get y'all takes on that and stuff like that. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to everybody over on the Breezy Bunch crew. Definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in to the live show. Tony, any final thoughts before we dip up out?
Can't wait for next Monday. Can't wait.
Free agent frenzy kicks off, the tampering period.
I am done talking about the draft until Wednesday.
I can tell. I can tell Tony is draft ready to be done with, and it's time to get into some free agency
No,
frenzy.
you're never done with the draft until the draft.
Well, you're done with it as far as you can start
Working
really
on it.
building your big board. Working who you're looking for, because now in free agency you address certain positions. So you know what I mean. That's what I meant by that. You're right. You're never done with the draft. Now, everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Definitely appreciate it. Final verdict, though, for me, the San Francisco 49ers have an opportunity to really reshape their offense and defense in this draft, even with 7 picks. Even if they stay at 7 picks, even if they spend a couple of picks and get a player in free agency, however they can do it, they'll get it done. I really believe in this team. I really believe in this regime 100%. All right. So I tell you what, I'm going to go deeper in film on these players with full draft boards over on the Patreon. All right. That's where the real study happens. So make sure you check out the Patreon. It's going to be fun season, new stuff, new updates. Everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Love y'all. Keep it faithful to the Bay always. And we out. Peace.
What's up, faithful? Thanks for watching. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure you check out some of the other cool videos.